992 694043 kapena a Michael Mhango pa 0999 406 531. Centenary ya Zomba Cathedral pa 22 November. Lelo cha zaka 100 za parish ya Cathedral ku Zomba Diocese. Parish ya Mtima Woyera kapena kuti Sacred Heart Cathedral ku Zomba Diocese yakwanitsa zaka 100. Ndipo akuluakulu oyendetsa parishi akukuyitanani nonse ku mwambo wa nsembe ya Ukaristiya yokondwerera chakachi yomwe iliko pa 22 November 2025 ili ndi loweluka ku Zomba. Ndipo amene akatsogolere mwambo onsewu ndi ambuye Alfred Mateyo Chaima, episkopi wa Diocese ya Zomba. Nonse akuyitanani ku mwambo wa zaka 100 za Cathedral ya Zomba. Mukafuna kudziwa zambiri yankulanani ndi Father Arambendela pa 0992 694043 kapena a Michael Mhango pa 0999 406 531. Centenary ya Zomba Cathedral pa 22 November. Chikondwerero cha zaka 100 za parish ya Cathedral ku Zomba Diocese. Parish ya Mtima Woyera kapena kuti Sacred Heart Cathedral ku Zomba Diocese yakwanitsa zaka 100. Ndipo akuluakulu oyendetsa parishi akukuyitanani nonse ku mwambo wa nsembe ya Ukaristiya yokondwerera chakachi yomwe iliko pa 22 November 2025 ili ndi loweluka ku Zomba. Ndipo amene akatsogolere mwambo onsewu ndi ambuye Alfred Mateyo Chaima, episkopi wa Diocese ya Zomba. nonse akuyitanani kumwambo wa zaka 100 za Cathedral ya Zomba. Mukafuna kudziwa zambiri yankhulanani ndi Father Arambendela pa 0992 694043 kapena a Michael Mhango pa 0999 406 531. Centenary ya Zomba Cathedral pa 22 November. Chikondwerero cha zaka 100 za parish ya Cathedral ku Zomba Diocese. Parish ya Mtima Woyera kapena kuti Sacred Heart Cathedral ku Zomba Diocese yakwanitsa zaka 100. Ndipo akuluakulu oyendetsa parishi akukuyitanani nonse ku mwambo wa nsembe ya Ukaristiya yokondwerera chakachi yomwe iliko pa 22 November 2025 ili ndi loweluka ku Zomba. Ndipo amene akatsogolere mwambo onsewu ndi ambuye Alfred Mateyo Chaima, episkopi wa Diocese ya Zomba. Nonse akuyitanani kumwambo wa zaka 100 za Cathedral ya Zomba. Mukafuna kudziwa zambiri yankhulanani ndi Father Arambendela pa 099
school fees kwa kupheka tsopano. Lisente fees by Airtel Money. Mutha kulipira school fees mosavuta kudzera pa foni yanu. Tsatirani ndondomeko zotsatirazi. Choyamba, imbani *211#. Pamene yomwe mutapatsidwe, sankhani 8 kuti mulipire fees. Pitirizani posankha 1 yomwe ndi sente fees. Kenako mudzafunsidwa kuti mulowetse admissions number. Kutoka apo, mudzaona skulu yomwe mukufuna kulipira komanso dzina la ophunzira. Onetsetsani kuti zonse ndi zolondola. Pitirirani ndi kuyika ndalama zomwe mukufuna kulipira. Lembani pini yanu ya Airtel Money kuti muvomereze kulipira. Ndipo nthawi yomweyo mudzalandira SMS yotsimikiza kuti zatheka.
Malawi.
Hello and welcome to our Pope Leo XIV calls the Italian bishops to be prophets of peace. Mwanamveka faults Malawi Congress Party government for economic decline. First Vice President Jane Ansah launches 2025 Makoda Flag Week, orders disability forecast development. And in our exclusive report this week, Emmanuel Georgia gives an insight of the hunger situation in Malawi. We do have the details to these and many other stories. Stay tuned.
Pope Leo XIV has urged the bishops of Italy to press Christ decisively at the heart of their ministry and to serve as prophets of peace amid a world fractured by conflict, fear and uncertainty. Closing the 81st General Assembly of the Italian Bishops' Conference on Thursday during a brief visit to Assis, the Holy Father stressed that authentic pastoral leadership begins with looking to Jesus and from him learning to accompany families, young people, the elderly and the poor. We have a Vatican News report read by Falas Chizombe.
Speaking in the Basilica of Santa Maria degli Angeli on November 20th, Pope Leo recorded that the 4-day meeting of Italian bishops had focused on pastoral priorities, safeguarding and education, all illuminated by the insights of the recent completed synodal path in Italy. He noted that their reflections would help shape the pastoral guidelines to be finalized next May. Expressing his joy at being in Assis, the Pope pointed to the enduring witness of St. Francis, whose bold faith and love for peace continue to inspire the Church. He prayed that the saint's example might strengthen the bishops in making choices inspired by an authentic faith. Returning to his central message, the Holy Father insisted that the Church must continually look to Jesus for faith in the crucified and risen Lord in the foundation of every pastoral mission. In a time of great fragmentation, he said the Church must return to the Kerygma and allow Christ's gaze to teach believers how to look upon the faces of their brothers and sisters with compassion. The Pope reminded the bishops that when Christ appears to his disciples, his first words are, "Peace be with you." He said this peace must become the guiding style of the Church's presence in society. Turning to practical pastoral concerns, Pope Leo reiterated the coordinates he had shared with the bishops earlier this year, proclaiming salvation, building peace, promoting human dignity, strengthening dialogue and safeguarding a Christian vision of the human person. He said these priorities resonate strongly with the fruits of Italy's synodal path. He encouraged the bishops to continue fostering a synodal church, one that walks together with Christ and toward the kingdom, forming communities marked by communion, shared responsibility and hospitality. He said such a church listens to people's questions, carries their burdens and shares their hopes. The Pope also renewed his appeal for unwavering commitment to safeguarding, calling for a culture that protects the smallest and most vulnerable. He insisted that welcoming and listening to victims is an essential sign of a church undergoing conviction and tending with humility to its wounds. Concluding his address, Pope Leo encouraged the bishops to move forward with courage, following the example of St. Francis and strengthened by Christ himself. After meeting with the CEI in Assis, the Holy Father departed from the stadium of Santa Maria degli Angeli for Montefiasco, where he was to celebrate Holy Mass with the Augustinian nuns. End report.
Minister of Finance Joseph Munambeka has criticized the previous MCP-led government for mismanaging Malawi's economy, saying the current administration has had to make tough decisions to stabilize the country's finances and curb rising inflation. The finance minister was speaking during the 2025-2026 media budget presentation on Friday, November 21st at Parliament Building in Lilongwe. More details in this report followed by Gift Kalonga.
Speaking on the state of the economy, Munambeka expressed the concern that when DPP left office in 2019, Malawi enjoyed a healthy 4 months of import cover and inflation stood at 8%. He noted that inflation has now surged to 28%, highlighting the challenges facing the current government. The minister said the government has implemented cost-cutting measures aimed at improving revenue collection and managing public debt, adding that with the collective responsibility of every citizen, Malawi's economy can be restored again.
Analyzed. But perhaps what I would want to ask Malawians to say, I need that support. This budget is our budget, and also we only have one Malawi, one country. We can decide to destroy today, and the generation to come will take us to account. Where were you when this country was being destroyed? So it's a responsibility of all of us that are here, the media, the civil service, the private sector, NGOs.
Reacting to Mwanamveka's remarks, Leader of Opposition Simplex Chichora Banda of Malawi Congress Party said the budget presented by the government largely continues previous initiatives, including diaspora engagement and revenue expansion measures. However, he expressed concern over increased value-added tax by 4.5% and restrictions on recruitment and promotions, which he said could hurt ordinary Malawians already facing economic challenges. Banda added that if the current government cannot recruit or promote workers now, his party plans to do so in 2030, believing that employment and promotions are key to boosting disposable income and sustaining economic growth.
So firstly, let me correct, it's not a matter of messing up, but there are quite a number of issues that have come out of his presentation. Number one is, I think, acknowledgement that most of the issues that we presented before the House have been taken on board. You've heard about the support engagement, you've heard about quite a number of measures on how to expand the revenue base. Almost it's a continuation of the same budget, but maybe some new things that take home for general public and Malawians that this government through this budget are saying no to recruitment. I think you've heard for yourself, they have actually suspended any recruitment, no to promotion, which is also a key message to take home, but also increased VAT of 17.5% across the board is something that also will actually hit Malawians very hard.
He also pointed out that despite the rising deficit, production, mining, agriculture and diaspora engagement could contribute to economic recovery. On Monday, 24th November afternoon, the opposition leader will respond to the budget statement. For Luntha News, this is Gift Kalonga.
First Vice President Justice Dr. Jane Ansah has called for stronger reporting, action and accountability in promoting disability rights. Presiding over the launch of the 2025 Malawi Council of Disabilities Makoda Flag Week at Parliament Building on Friday, Dr. Ansah said this year's theme, championing disability rights through reporting and action, calls on duty bearers to go beyond rhetoric and deliver measurable change. She then reaffirmed the government's commitment to ensuring Malawi's development benefits all citizens, including persons with disabilities. Tandu Mzumala has filed this report.
Dr. Jane Ansah highlighted recent policy milestones such as the Persons with Disabilities Act of 2024 and the National Disability Policy, saying government will prioritize their effective implementation. She directed local councils to outline how persons with disabilities will benefit from the 5 billion Malawi Kwacha CDF and insisted that the 100 million Malawi Kwacha youth and 100 million women's empowerment funds must support young people and women with disabilities through business loans.
Our constitution has got a Bill of Rights, and the Bill of Rights is for everyone. And it is important to include everyone, including people with disability, so that they can also benefit in the development that is taking place. They should not be left behind.
Minister of Gender Mary Navija stressed the need for stronger institutional support for Makoda, noting that its new 2024 mandate requires adequate resources and equipment to meet rising expectations. Navija said Makoda must be empowered to fully protect and promote the rights of persons with disabilities as guaranteed in national laws.
This is a powerful platform for persons with disability because it's like awareness to all Malawians. People should know that persons with disabilities are also Malawians.
Meanwhile, Vice Chairperson of the Executive Council of the Federation of Disability Organizations in Malawi, Fedoma Skeda Luce, has expressed optimism about the new government, stating that it represents a shared vision to address the challenges faced by persons with disabilities.
So, as you have heard from the launch of the Flag Week for Makoda today, in my speech and even the speech of the Director General for Makoda, we highlighted a number of challenges that persons with disabilities continue to face in Malawi. One key challenge is the issue of accessibility. And when we are talking about accessibility, we are not only talking about infrastructural accessibility, but also accessibility of services, accessibility of amenities, accessibility. Today we are talking about reporting and action, so accessibility of reporting channels on human rights violations.
President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has since donated 5 million Malawi kwacha towards the cause, while Dr. Jen Ansah has donated 2.5 million kwacha, and Minister of Gender Mary Navija has donated 1 million Malawi kwacha. For Luntha News, this is Tandiwe Nzumara.
The National Advocacy and Financing Task Force has emphasized the need for Malawi to significantly scale up investment in early childhood development (ECD) as a foundation for improving early learning outcomes and child development. The call was made ahead of the 2025 ECD National Week, which will run from November 24th to 29th, with the national launch scheduled for Jankodzi for primary school in Mtamawawa, Kasongo. Judith Ogan has found this report.
Reverend Nase Chunga, chairperson of the National Advocacy and Financing Task Force, said Malawi's ECD sector is under immense pressure due to low funding, limited training for caregivers, and declining donor support. He noted that while the country has 6,000 caregivers, only 20,000 are trained, a gap that continues to compromise the quality of early learning services offered nationwide. He added that although donors currently provide most of the support amounting to nearly 23 billion kwacha, government contributes only around 1 billion kwacha, a level he says is far below what is required to meet national needs. Chunga stressed that Malawi must begin allocating a minimum of 36 billion kwacha annually to strengthening infrastructure, improve training, and ensuring consistent provision of learning materials.
Well, I think as a country, there's a lot of work to be done. I think a lot of our indicators are down, and critical to that, we are looking at the training of caregivers. We have about 66,000 caregivers in Malawi, but only about 20,000 are trained. So that already gives us a big problem with a lot of caregivers who are just teaching, but they have not received the basic requirements for their work. But also, critical to mention again is the issue of financing. Malawi government does not pump a lot of resources. Maximum they would, it would be about 1 billion. But it's a sector that is better supported by development partners. So we are saying government must pump in a minimum of 36 billion kwacha in order to have a turnaround. And one of the things we'll be doing next week, on Thursday, we're meeting the Ministry of Finance as well as Treasury. And what we want is to propose funding models, but also prioritization of issues, so that we can source this amount. And when we get at least 36 billion, we'll start to look to see construction work, training of caregivers, provision of materials, the indicators will start to peak.
The 36 billion is the minimum, but to effectively run the operations in this sector, how much would be needed?
Well, we would be talking about 84.
Child Affairs Officer for the Ministry of Gender, Pauline Simwaka, said the ministry is committed to professionalizing caregiving in line with the new ECD policy launched in August. She explained that despite introducing a 20,000 honorarium in 2022, only 2,000 caregivers currently receive it, forcing the system to rely heavily on volunteers. Simwaka added that the new policy aims to certify caregivers and eventually place them on government's payroll once the hiring freeze is lifted. She emphasized that ensuring adequate financing is key to improving the consistency and quality of ECD services across the country.
So as Malawi, we are really behind in terms of professionalizing ECD sector. We have been working with the caregivers since we started the program, like a real program in 2003 when we had the first policy. We have been working with the caregivers to date until 2022 when we say that these caregivers, we should receive something after hearing the comments from people and the community in general to say at least we should do something for caregivers, just like as the government is doing something for chiefs.
The ministry says securing sustainable resources and strengthening ECD structures remains a national priority to ensure children benefit from quality early development and learning services. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Judith Ogan.
The Malawi Investment and Trade Center says the Uganda-Malawi Business Summit and Forum will help Malawian businesses share ideas and explore ways of integrating the African region through enhanced trade and investment. The sentiments were made during the official launch of the Uganda-Malawi Summit at Bingu International Convention Center, BICC, in Lilongwe. According to Acting Director of Trade Promotion and Facilitation, Love Mondege, the summit presents a great opportunity for Malawians who produce and sell various products to market their goods to potential partners from Uganda and beyond. Emmanuel Georgia reports.
During the event, business representatives from both Malawi and Uganda toured different pavilions where a range of products were displayed. This enabled participants to appreciate each other's innovation, exchange business ideas, and identify opportunities for collaboration. In an interview, Ndege said MITC is committed to ensure that Malawian businesses fully benefit from the summit, while also fostering mutual gain for Uganda. He stressed that exposure to new markets is essential for growth and competitiveness. Ndege further emphasized that for businesses to expand and gain recognition, they must explore new ideas and build partnerships with countries such as Uganda, which share similar economic ambitions.
It's an exciting moment for Malawi and Uganda, and also for the regional trade that we are having a business delegation led by Ambassador for Uganda based in Dar es Salaam. There is a delegation in the country to explore business opportunity in Malawi. So as MITC, we've called upon the private sector together with the Confederation of Chambers of Commerce, led by our Ministry of Industrialization, Business, Trade and Tourism, to mobilize Malawian private sector to come and attend this two-day event.
Ugandan Ambassador, retired Colonel Fred Mwesigeye, urged the two countries to strengthen trade ties, saying such collaboration is a key to regional integration. He noted that Malawi and Uganda share many common interests, making increased trade between them a logical step forward. The ambassador also highlighted that the new Malawi airline route connecting Kamuzu International Airport in Lilongwe to Entebbe International Airport will ease travel for business people from both countries, saving time and boosting trade mobility.
Our expectations is to strengthen fraternity between Malawi and Uganda, is to deepen and widen trade and commerce between the two countries. Our expectations is to see Malawian business people come to Uganda and buy industrial processed products, and likewise Uganda is coming here to buy the products that they've seen, because we have got very fantastic products.
The summit is celebrated under the theme Exploring and Tapping Investment Opportunities for Deeper Collaboration, and is the second of its kind to be hosted. For Luntha News, this is Emmanuel Georgia.
Deputy Director for Value Addition in the Ministry of Industrialization, Business, Trade and Tourism, Jacinta Jipendo, has stated that micro, small and medium enterprises (MSMEs) remain a critical pillar in Malawi's economic growth. Jipendo explained that MSMEs are driving economic expansion through job creation, innovation and increased production of local goods, now appealing on the market. She noted that these enterprises are also contributing to import substitution, a key strategy in reducing Malawi's dependence on foreign products. Jipendo made these remarks in Lilongwe during the launch of the Malawi Union of Small and Medium Enterprises (MUSME). Faris Chizombe reports.
According to Jipendo, Malawi has thousands of MSMEs operating across various sectors, and the government is working to ensure these businesses have a conducive environment to grow and compete at both regional and international levels. She highlighted that one of the government's major steps has been the establishment of the Malawi Small and Medium Enterprise Corporation, mandated to register and formalize all SMEs in the country. Jipendo stated that the union will help enterprises access more opportunities, including training and financial support. Jipendo added that Malawi needs high production volumes to effectively compete in regional and global markets. She described the union as a vital mouthpiece that will help streamline and coordinate the MSME's ecosystem.
The micro, small and medium enterprises are very critical in the economy of the nation. They are the ones driving growth of the economy. We have about lots of MSMEs in the country, and they are contributing to job creation, innovation, and they are producing products that now we can see on the market, and they are contributing to import substitution.
Concurring with Jipendo, James Chuti, president of MUSME, said the union will bring together SMEs, government agencies, development organizations and non-government organizations, leading to enhanced efficiency and a more collaborative environment. Chuti, who is also Executive Secretary of the Chamber for Small and Medium Enterprises, said the union will enable SMEs to share information, facilitate collaboration, form joint ventures and address common challenges.
Yes, today we are launching what we call the Union of SMEs. The Union of SMEs is an umbrella body for SME associations. In Malawi here, we have got a lot of associations in different sectors. But all of these, when they want to talk to government or other partners on interventions to develop them, they individually or single-handedly approach all these partners. But you see that creates real management challenges. There is no efficiency. Because of that, then we created the Umbrella Association.
Annie Kamanga, president of the Federation for Women and Youth in Mining, held the launch of the union, stating that it has brought them to light and helped their federation meet people of high caliber whom they wouldn't have been able to meet otherwise.
Managed to bring together about 40 groups of artisanal and small-scale miners in gypsum, in lime, in gold mining, and in gemstones.
The launch was funded by Standard Bank with an amount of 4 million kwacha.
The Rotary Club of Lilongwe has donated 452 to D6 to Karolofu Primary School in Lilongwe, a gesture aimed at improving the learning environment for pupils at the historic institution. Speaking during the handover ceremony, George Nampando, president of the Rotary Club of Lilongwe, said the donation has been made through the Tutu Foundation after observing that many learners were forced to learn without discs, making writing and concentration difficult. Patrick Pupa has more in this report.
Nampando said that they noted that most of the children were sitting on the floor during lessons, and these Tutu desks will greatly enhance their comfort and participation in class. The campaign seeks to reduce classroom challenges caused by shortages of desks in schools across Malawi.
Donated about 425 desks, which are funded by the Tutu Foundation. This is out of a total of about 1,500 that we have been that are to be donated throughout this process. The Tutu Foundation is run by Desmond Tutu, was started by Desmond Tutu, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and the aim is to distribute at least 40 million desks all over the SADC region. So Malawi is a beneficiary of these desks, and this project is one of the projects that is ongoing.
In his remarks, Gerard Chadza, head teacher for Karolofu Primary School, expressed gratitude, saying the desk will not only ease the learners' classroom experience, but also inspire them to take their education more seriously.
I'm very excited that you have brought these books, these desks. This will help the learners to improve their handwriting. And also this will encourage other learners, those who have left school, when they come back to school.
Karolofu Primary School, established in 1926, is now in its 99th year of existence, serving generations of learners in the community. For Luntha News, this is Patrick Pupa.
And Malawi is facing a severely hunger crisis, with millions struggling to access basic food due to drought, economic instability, and climate change impacts. The government has launched emergency measures, including food distribution programs and increased support for small-scale farmers, while local banks have initiated credit schemes to boost agricultural productivity. But even though that's the case, the Department of Disaster Management Affairs says the country still needs over 100 billion to recover from the virus. In our exclusive report this week, Emmanuel Georgia gives us an insight into the hunger situation in Malawi. Let's watch.
The products which are here are not coming from the usual farming system that we follow, that is of relying rainfall, but they also do irrigation. By sharing that knowledge, many farmers can also manage to produce more as they come together to show what they have produced.
DODMA, a prominent humanitarian organization in the land, has called for increased funding to combat food insecurity across the nation. The alarming rise in malnutrition and food scarcity is intense in rural areas, where subsistence farming is the main livelihood. But how much money does Dodma need to completely corner this vice?
Support that we have received is around 61 billion. So we do remain with around 148 billion to be mobilized.
Experts warned that climate change, poor infrastructure, and economic instabilities are exacerbating the crisis, demanding urgent and sustained intervention.
Seen people take this opportunity and abuse the resources. At the end of the day, it does not meet the intended people who are suffering on the ground. So it's quite my appeal that Dodma should make use that these funds are used for intended purpose, and they should be very transparent to Malawians who should know how the funds has been used.
Government officials acknowledged the severity of the situation, with the Minister of Agriculture emphasizing ongoing efforts to boost production and improve food distribution.
We are giving this fertilizer under fees to 1.1 million beneficiaries, and it will mean that we'll distribute about 110,000 metric tons. The budget as of now is way over 180 billion. As I said, in 2023-2024, just over 6 billion was used under the mega funds.
But still, there is a gap that needs to be filled.
First, I know that in Dodma, we already have a plan for that. So that when these things happen, first of all, how to mitigate the impact of these shocks or these dry spells or heavy rains. And the plan is there. And also the Ministry of Agriculture is also putting up measures, particularly for instance, putting up irrigation. Because I think irrigation, particularly for the dry spells, I think we need to put proper irrigation schemes.
However, they admit that more financial support is essential to scale up these initiatives and ensure no Malawians goes hungry. As voices from all sectors unite in this call of action, it is clear that only through increased investment and coordinated efforts can Malawi hope to eradicate hunger and secure a brighter future for its citizens. President Muntaliga declared the state of national disaster, calling for urgent action and solidarity. Malawi has since procured 50,000 tons of maize from Zambia. The maize, according to the Minister of Agriculture, Lozambilizi, is expected to shorten the struggle by the people in the rural areas. The crisis worsened by drought and economic hardships prompted a remarkable response from the country's financial institution. NBS Bank pledged 2 million kwacha, and First Capital Bank committed 1.5 million kwacha to aid relief efforts. But experts have called for transparency, use of resources.
We are doing is done transparently. That instills the spirit of trust and confidence by our different donors and the well-wishers. So I think whatever we receive must also go to the people who are in need at that particular time.
The recent report, titled Malawi Hunger and Food Security Outlooked 2024 Projects, that hunger in Malawi is expected to worsen over the coming year due to ongoing drought, climate change impact, and economic challenges. With an estimated 3.5 million people facing food insecurity by mid-2024. The reports highlight that crop yield are significantly below average, and resilience on food aid will increase unless urgent measures are taken to improve resilience and agricultural productivity.
With that item, we've also come to the end of our today's bulletin, and let's have a recap of the top stories before we go. Pope Leo XIV calls the Italian bishops to be prophets of peace. Mwanamveka faults Malawi Congress Party government for economic decline. First Vice President Jane Ansah launches 2025 Makoda Flag Week, orders disability forecast development. And in our exclusive report this week, Emmanuel Georgia gives an insight of the hunger situation Malawi. You've been with me, Charity Chilanga. Thanks so much for giving me company and have a lovely weekend.